Welcome to AssistEdge RPA DataTable Activities webinar. In this webinar, we shall explore the different AssistEdge RPA DataTable activities for supporting various datatable operations. Let's get started. The first activity is Create Datatable activity. It allows process designers to create a datatable in memory. The Create Datatable activity expects a user-friendly datatable name. We next need to specify the structure of the datatable by clicking the Settings button and specifying the column definitions. Like in this case, we have specified attendance records datatable name with ID, name, and status columns, which creates this structure in memory. The next activity is Add Row activity that allows to add a row to the selected datatable. Here you select the datatable name and click Settings to provide values to the columns either in the form of arguments or default values to each column of the datatable. In this example, we have added default values 1, mark, true to ID, name, and status columns of attendance records datatable, and this row gets added to the attendance records datatable. The next activity is Remove Row activity that removes a row from the selected datatable. Here you need to select the datatable name and index of the row that you want to remove. A key point here is the row index count starts from 0 and should not be greater than the total number of datatable rows. Like in this example, we have tried to remove a row at index 0, and when you delete the row at index 0, the first row, which is at 0th index, gets deleted, and the second row becomes the topmost row with the row index as 0. The Update Data activity updates the data in a cell for the selected column and row index. Here you select the datatable, index of the row, and the actual column at that row index to update, and the actual value in the form of arguments or a default value. Here, in this example, column name value is updated from Joe to Joy for row index 0. The Clear Datatable activity clears data of the selected datatable. Now with this, records of attendance records datatable are cleared. The Get Data activity retrieves value from the selected datatable based upon the selected column and the provided row index. It stores the value in a process argument. In this example, Get Data activity is retrieving the value of status column for the row with 0th row index and saving it in an attendance status process argument. Import Datatable activity imports the data of an Excel or CSV file into a datatable. You select the location of Excel or CSV file, provide the datatable name that will be created at runtime, and check the Has Headers option if the imported Excel has headers. The difference when you are importing an Excel versus a CSV file is that if it is Excel import, then you select the sheet from where you want to import the data, and if it is a CSV file, then you select the CSV delimiter as the character for data separator. In order to configure header and the number of rows to read from an Excel, click Settings. Using the Configure Reader option, You may specify a custom set of rows to be read from the Excel by configuring row start and row to take properties. Using the headers configuration, you may explicitly want to ignore reading or loading data of specific columns of the selected data table. The export data table activity exports the selected data table into Excel, CSV or tab delimited file formats. You select the data table, the file type, the file path where you want to generate the exported file. Check Has Headers option to include headers in the exported Excel and Overwrite File option to overwrite the file if it already exists. The Sort Data Table activity sorts the selected data table in ascending or descending orders based upon the specified column. Here in this example, attendance records data would be sorted based on name column arranged in descending order and ID arranged in ascending order. The Count Row Column activity counts the number of rows and columns present in a selected data table, and you may want to use this value while iterating a data table. In this webinar, we learned the various data table activities supported by AssistEdge RPA. Thank you.